Good evening, I'm Ashim Kumar. This is Ukraine Brief. Today marks day 1,434 since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Here's the latest news of the day. Ukraine will need to give up the Donbas region to Russia to get American security guarantees, the Financial Times has reported, citing several people familiar with the peace talks. Washington has also reportedly suggested it could provide Ukraine with more weaponry to boost its peacetime defences if the war-torn country agrees to pull back its troops from the parts of the eastern regions it controls. The White House responded to the Financial Times that the claims are, quote, totally false, adding that it only aims to bring both sides to sign a deal. The Ukrainian side, in turn, wanted to ensure the US guarantees would be binding before it cedes any land, according to the paper. Last week, Ukrainian President Zelensky said those guarantees had been finalized, but as the Financial Times reports, the issue of territorial concessions hadn't been worked out by the time Ukraine entered trilateral talks with the US and Russia over the weekend. Kremlin envoy Kirill Dmitriev said in a statement today that the path to peace in Ukraine necessitates a Ukrainian withdrawal from the territory. This comes as Moscow claims it captured an additional 500 square kilometers of Ukrainian territory this month. Some experts predict that Russia's war aims go far beyond Donbas. The Kremlin seeks to cut Ukraine off from the Black Sea and ultimately keep the entire country under its control, rather than stopping at just Luhansk and Donetsk.
Beyond Donbas, Kherson, Mykolaiv, and Zaporizhzhia become very important for Russia strategically because it gives them greater access to the Black Sea. As you move westwards in that way, and then even into Odesa, that would essentially cut off Ukraine's access to the Black Sea. Russia wants to take all of Ukraine, not just Donetsk. Russia has really showed no indication that it wants to stop this war once it acquires Donetsk and Luhansk. If this were the case, it wouldn't have launched the 2022 invasion.
Russia continues its widespread attacks on Ukrainian civilians and energy infrastructure. In the latest overnight attack, at least 5 people were killed. This is the aftermath of a Russian drone strike on a 4-story apartment building in the city of Odesa. A major portion of the building exploded, with workers from the State Emergency Service working to recover those trapped under the rubble. 3 people were killed and another 25 were injured as a result of the attack. In the eastern city of Kharkiv, 14 people, including a child, were injured in a large Russian drone attack, according to Kharkiv Mayor Ihor Terekhov. The attack targeted an energy facility, a school, as well as 6 multi-story buildings. As a result, 80% of the city and the surrounding region was left without power this morning. In the Donetsk region, Russian forces dropped guided bombs on houses on Sloviansk. A married couple was killed in the attack that also injured their son. In Kyiv, 1 person was killed and at least 4 more injured in overnight Russian missiles and drone strikes. The attack targeted a factory and a residential building. Russia also launched an overnight attack on Naftogaz infrastructure in western Ukraine. Naftogaz is Ukraine's national oil and gas company. In a statement today, the company confirmed the attack, adding that it was the 15th Russian attack on their facilities this month. Russian strikes on Ukrainian civilian infrastructure have had a particularly devastating impact on the Troieshchyna neighbourhood of Kyiv, where power was cut to all residents. The neighbourhood is home to approximately 300,000 residents and is located in northeastern Kyiv. Troieshchyna is also one of the only neighborhoods in Kyiv that relies on a single power plant for the entirety of its heat and energy. This power plant was critically damaged on January 24th following a Russian attack, leaving the entire neighborhood without power, heat or functioning sewage. While some resilience points have been set up for residents to access power, authorities are concerned that these facilities are insufficient given the size of the neighborhood. Following Poland's support in sending electric generators to Ukraine, Warsaw and Kyiv have now agreed to increase gas import capacity starting in February. Ukraine's Energy Minister Denis Shmyhal said that Poland and Ukraine have agreed on a phased increase in gas import capacity from Poland, starting in early February 2026. By the end of April, capacity on this route will rise from 15.3 million to 18.4 million cubic meters per day. Shmyhal thanked Polish partners for their support, calling the agreement crucial for ensuring stable heating in Ukrainian homes, hospitals, schools and critical infrastructure. And that's all from Ukraine Brief. Don't go away, lots more coming up from me for the moment. Goodbye.